So these are deep, large footprint impressions in the ground that are left, right transition. So heavy that it pushes all, most of the rocks down into the soil and actually pushes the soil up. I mean, when we walk, look what my feet do to this ground. Nothing, really. I mean, this ground is really tough.
Okay. Yeah, you left nothing.
And
so
then
something was left here because the soil is actually
and then
cracked.
The rain kind of,
You see?
The rain washed it a little bit.
Fills it in with a little bit of silt after it rains. But it's here to there to there.
And you can see the sides of its foot, like here and
to
here.
here. And then it
So
steps
which
again over
direction
here.
is he going, would you say? That direction?
Where's the next track?
Here.
Oh wow, you're right.
And then again right here.
Okay.
And then here again.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Elena,
Yeah.
It looks like another one here.
your multiple-toed critter is here.
Oh great, dinosaurs.
The first time I was here, I started finding really strange giant footprints from really heavy, large creatures. Not always an ape track. The first day out here, I found a track that was overall about this big, and it had a pad with toes, no claws. And then we found large three-toed tracks that look something like a prehistoric reptile of some kind, and big. And then also finding these big, heavy, rectangular tracks. Some of them were about 2 inches deep on the dirt road here that cars drive across. This thing was pushing the dirt down about 2 inches per every step it took. And I can't imagine something that's what it would look like, or something that heavy, or how feet only, this big could support that weight. I'm convinced that all these tracks out here aren't from a Bigfoot. They're just too strange, too different. I found triangular tracks that have toes in them.
That's an adult.
Little people. I mean, humans aren't going to be walking barefoot around here.
And then what's that big mess right there?
Oh, that's a big foot. Look, it has toes.
Is that like an actual...
Yeah, it's
That's
a print.
claws are buried.
Yeah, that looks like claws to me too.
Three-toed clawed footprints with triangular skinny heels. Linda Bradshaw wrote about seeing these prints a lot during her time living at the ranch.
I've only encountered a creature out here one time, and it tried to scare us out of here. I brought 2 friends with me. It was the first time I came at night. It was maybe 11:30 at night. I wanted to shoot some Polaroids in the front yard, and I told them we're coming down here dark, no flashlights or anything, because I didn't want to, be this obnoxious source of energy walking in down here to the whatever's out here. And so we came in, which is the Polaroid camera, and I shot a picture in the front yard, and the mechanical sound of the camera spooked something, and my 2 friends heard it. I only heard the camera eject the picture, but my friend's like, it's over, something over there. And then a couple seconds later, it made another sound, and it sounded like it picked up a whole tree log and was ringing it like a dinner bell around this wooden gate out there. And it sounded like almost like an engine trying to start, but of wood, and almost deafening loud. And then, so my friends wanted to run, and I was telling them, wait, we gotta stay, wait. And I wanted to go over there. They weren't gonna let that happen, but then it made the sound again, but now it was taking that log and swinging like a baseball bat into one of the buildings out there. And it sounded like something tearing the building down by hand, like just ripping a building apart. We ended up hearing it 4 times. As my friends turned around to run away, I was still watching, and I could see the creature looking at us over the tree line in the dry creek there. So this thing had to be 15 or 20 feet tall, and I could see the outline of it and its eyeballs looking right at me, and they were kind of orangish, kind of glowing, not like a bright source of light, but almost like those old flashlights, like right when you turn them off, how the bulb glows for a second. They kind of like that. And I could see it looking at us and then turn its head away. And then the next day, there were 20-inch footprints out there that looked, typical footprint shape, not triangular or anything. They had a wide heel and about an equally wide front part to it with a narrower center. And it's things like that that keep me coming back, because if these things exist here, I feel like the only way I'll ever understand them is by having experiences with them. And for me to have an experience with them, they need to initiate it. We can't sneak up on these things. They're not monkeys that we didn't discover, because monkeys can't do the things they do out here. They can't leave 4 or 5 footprints or 15 footprints with no beginning and no end. I mean, I would love for someone to explain how, you know, monkeys are in the mountains of Arizona anyway, but they start right there. This is the first one.
Where?
This imprint right here. And you can see how it's moving earth when it steps down. Like how it piled all this up.
And the next one's there.
The next one there does the same thing. Moves earth when it steps. And here, and you can see how there's no hoof. That's not a cow, this isn't a horse. It's really bizarre how flat the bottom of its feet are. And from here you can see it stepped there and there and there, right up to where a deer trail is. So it could have been coming right after this deer. Let's see how far, because the deer tracks stop right there. I mean, I've seen orbs, I have photos of little creatures on the ground. I have a picture of what looks kind of like a Bigfoot hunched over right in front of the ranch house. I was just out here shooting panoramic shots, and it's in every one of the shots, but I mean, one shot it's more clear than the others, and my flash made it cast a shadow on the house. It was a physical thing there hunched over with really, really wide features. We took my picture crouched over there, and so it looked like it was about my height, so maybe like, you know, 6'2" or 3", but I mean 4 times wider than me. It's just had so much weight to it, and I feel like I only got that picture because it let me. You know, I don't think I surprised it or anything like that. So around the corner over here, I started hearing all these women's voices. It's really loud, laughing, a group of them. So obvious that I was convinced there's just a group of people over here having a party or something. And when I walked around the corner, it's completely empty. That branch had been freshly broken, and when you go in there, something was peeling all the bark off this other tree. And then there's this giant track coming out of there. Here's the pad of the foot. It's filled in with leaves now. Here's one toe, another little toe, and another little toe.
Can you tell me a little bit about the dinosaur myth out here?
So 2 people have reported seeing dinosaurs out here. And me and another local couple that I kind of collaborated with in the last couple months now, we've both found dinosaur tracks out here, live tracks. And the first story I heard was both happened when the Bradshaws lived here. And there was like a family out here, like parents and some children. And one of the kids saw it and said, Mom, Dad, look, a dinosaur. And by the time the rest of them had looked over there, they could just see like the ass end of it and the tail going into some trees. And then Linda Bradshaw and Tom were out one night here just doing their typical research, you know, shooting photos and just trying to capture anything that would appear. And Tom walked over to his car to change the film in his camera, and he says he was only like 50 or 80 feet away or something. And Linda saw long neck brontosaurus type dinosaurs walk across the field there. And she was shouting for Tom to get his attention, and Tom always says he couldn't hear her for whatever reason. He wasn't that far away, but he just couldn't hear her calling out his name. And I mean, I didn't know the dinosaur stories the first time I was here, but those big round tracks, they really look like dinosaur tracks. And the 3-toed like clawed footprints that we found, they look like, I don't know what else to say. They look like a dinosaur footprint. Even when you see fossilized dinosaur footprints, that's what we've been finding out here. But they're fresh in the dirt. And so I really don't know what to think of that, other than maybe if I keep coming here, I'll get to see something physical that's actually leaving those tracks behind, because something's doing it. And, you know, I can send you some of the photos so you have them for reference, but it's some of the strangest stuff I've ever seen. And it's so different all the time out here. You know, it's almost rare to find the same set of footprints. There's a couple now that I've noticed that are coming from particular creatures, and I find them quite a bit now, like the block-shaped ones that I kind of showed you guys earlier. But almost every time out here, I'm finding something new or something different. So it keeps me motivated.
As of now, to your knowledge, only a raptor type dinosaur and a long-necked, four-legged dinosaur have been seen on the property.
Yeah, and those are also the two footprints I've found, like fresh tracks. One looked like a raptor, one looked like a brontosaurus or an elephant or something.
A fucking elephant. Hey, well,
I mean, that's what it looked like. It looked like an elephant track. I mean, that's when I saw it, I didn't know it. You know, it was 13 inches across, and it's round, and it has a pad, and it has toes, but it's very round. And I was just like, what is this thing? Like, what's happening out here? And that was before I had heard about dinosaurs out here, so I was really confused as to what I was looking at.
The portal that's here is a time portal. It goes back in time. Now, you were just talking about the photo that Linda saw in the sky was a photo from 1950s. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the extraterrestrials were communicating and showed Linda a photo in the sky that happened decades ago to try to inform her that this area is a time portal.
Show her the past to explain to her that what she's experiencing is coming from the past.
Is coming from the past, yes. Yes.
I do believe that the easiest way to portal is in time. That would be the easiest type of portaling. But I definitely am not going to put limits on the portal activity here, and I think that if you had the right amplitude, the right electric amplitude, you could portal from other dimensions or other realities.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But time portaling is, in my mind at least, the most common type of portaling going on here.
Even in remote viewing, it's easier to see back in time on events that already happened in the past. It's easier to do that than to remote view into the future. Tom Dongo can verify that. When we gave our presentation, Tom said that. He said the easiest way to learn remote viewing is to see into the past.
And that would explain the many sightings of dinosaurs.
Yeah, like that lady that was here visiting Linda, and she saw a dinosaur walk through the property.